episode 4 of Knit About It. Little podcast here on the YouTubes, on our YouTube channel, with myself, Cassie Monksguard, and...
I'm Drew. Hi. Good afternoon from the East Coast, from the nation's capital, or actually just outside the nation's capital, in beautiful Alexandria, Virginia.
I'm over here in foggy Santa Rosa, California. We're still having our morning coolness, which I'm thrilled with. I have a sweatshirt on.
We're not
The sun's
having
coming out.
no coolness over here. It's like 95 and muggy and like the doldrums of DC disgusting summer. But it's sunny, so that counts for something.
Puts you in a good mood at least, right?
Yeah, totally. It's fine. I'm used to it, so...
I'm loving the foggy mornings, though. I'm settling into fall.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm ready. I've got my candle going, although I am burning a summer candle today. I realized, I think I said this last time, but my collection is so, fall and winter. Everything I have, except for, a handful of things, is, smoky, earthy, which I love. That's, my jam. That's my favorite. But... I'm burning my one of 3 or 4 candles that are not smoky. So I'm burning the Jonathan Adler pineapple candle. If you have not seen this one, it is really cool. You can get it on Amazon. It comes in this really cool yellow, very mod vessel. So it's cool. It's good home decor, and it just smells like pineapples. It's really, really pretty. So.
And I'm going with a classic today. I have Wax and Wool Amber Noir, because that's the mood I'm in. I'm it's foggy and it's cool, and I'm I feel like it's a good transitional to fall winter candle.
Yeah.
Setting the mood, setting the vibes.
I've been a little bit out of the candle buying game for a while, but I just purchased one on Amazon right before this. Actually, it's a Voluspa candle, so. Voluspa's my favorite kind of I don't know. It's my bougie version of a Yankee Candle. So
it's a budget-friendly wonder.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about them. The big jar is $37, and it burns for 800 hours. I mean, not really 800 hours, but you get a lot of mileage out of it.
Yeah, there's some of those really big ones though. I get sick of the scent before it's done.
See,
I'm just storing glass jars with this much wax in the bottom of them.
I feel that way, honestly, not to hate, but a lot of the Boy Smell ones that I bought, I went kind of on a tear with them, and I bought all these different, basically everyone they made, and there's probably 5 of them that I really like, and then the rest of them I'm kind of meh. So I burn them sometimes just to kind of get through them.
Move them along.
Yeah.
I love that polyamberous one. That is...
I know.
I like amber. It's...
Me too. Yeah. There's one from Voluspa called Baltic Amber, and it's my absolute favorite. Not favorite of all time, but it's definitely in my top 5. And it's our, evening bedroom candle. We burn it all the time, at bedtime. It's very nice. And it's very much
scent.
It's a lot like polyamberous, so.
I love those kind of smells. So
yeah,
what are you working on right now, Drew?
Guys, I have some things to say. I'm so
excited. A lot to say.
Oh my god. Opinions, updates, it's all here. So hold on. Okay. So let me start. Ooh, ouch. I hurt my finger. There's something sharp under this chair. Okay.
Oof.
So one thing I'm working on that's probably going to go to sleep soon, but I do want to show it, is the Fantastitch shawl. Yeah. Get a load of it.
It's amazing. I can't wait till you put more of the blue in it. I didn't even notice until...
Yeah.
You sent me pictures of this, but I didn't... the blue seems so much more prominent in the photos, and now I'm all more blue. When's that coming?
It's coming. So,
I'm so excited.
Little story here. So this is called Fantastitch. It's by Stephen West. And basically, those, you guys don't know, well, you guys probably know. I have, a wall of yarn in my office. So, it's hard to not be inspired. And so I just put together a color combination. I was like, I need a palette cleanser. I'm just going to go and cast something on. So I've been wanting to make it. And I used like basically all brights and then like a couple neutrals. It's been so fun. It has like all of the like makings of like a good potato chip knitting project, like sections and different stitch patterns and like different color combinations, like a lot of sections that are like 2-color combos. And like the psycho that I am, I like mapped it. You know, Stephen West is just like, just let the breeze take you like where you're gonna go. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna like micromanage the heck out of this thing, you know? So I like got all my colors lined up. I like wrote down like which colors like play together in each of the sections, and then like, you know, kind of rearranged them so that way I get like high contrast and like good combinations together. It was worth the planning because it's turning out so cool. So yeah, I'm super pumped. So that's one thing that I'm working on. And then I have one other one to show. Just one more. Now this one I have a lot to say about too. So, okay. So this is my Normandale sweater. I am like on cloud 9 with this right now.
I love it.
I'm so excited. So this was meant to be my Rhinebeck sweater from last year. Kind of stalled out. I mean, listen, it was 2021. I felt like even nervous just going to Rhinebeck last year, but I did. But the most exciting thing about this is that and this is actually like a good little story. So, and this is like just good advice too. So I've been knitting for like 13 years or something, like a long time. And I'll admit, like, I was afraid of seaming. Like, I just really just avoided it. There's like things in knitting that I've kind of just generally avoid. Provisional cast-ons, anything with seaming, most cables, but sometimes cables I get into sometimes. But I just decided, like, with this pattern, it was just so special that I wanted to make it, and it had seams, and I was like, well, I'm just going to do it, and then when I get to the seam part, like, I'm going to take a lesson. So I went yesterday to Fiberspace, which is my local yarn store, and she taught me how to do a shoulder seam, and I did my first one, and it looks really, really good. I'm very proud of it.
It looks so good. It looks so good.
She, the girl who taught me, her name is Alex. She was so sweet, and she did like the first 5. You know, she did like a tiny bit to show me, and then like she was like, okay, now you're gonna do it. And I totally did it, and I didn't freak out, and I didn't sweat to death from nervousness. So it was really exciting. And then last thing about this is that I did have like a little challenge picking up for the sleeve, because those of you who knit in pieces, like I don't knit in pieces normally, but like picking up on a vertical edge, it's not easy, and it's basically not scientific. You just have to like try things out until you like get it right, like the right ratio. So anyway, I could nerd out on this for a long time, but I'm so excited because now I'm actually like to the knitting part again, and I really like the pattern. Like, this looks really complicated, but it's actually not complicated at all. It's very easy knitting, and it's like a lot like I don't know how to describe it. Like, you have like an active row and a resting row, if that makes sense. Like, your right side row is like you got to pay attention, and then your wrong side row, you're just like knitting your knits and purling your purls, or purling your knits and slipping your, you know, it's easy. You can just kind of read your knitting and like go on autopilot. So, but I have my little start of my sleeve. I just started the sleeve this morning, so it's just like an inch maybe, but I'm off to the races. So that's my jam. That's what I've got going. How about you?
Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Alex.
Alex. I'm telling you, if you live at DC Metro or you're ever at Fiberspace, those people are so awesome on every level. They will teach you stuff. If you like I call it my yarn crazy. Like, I go and look at the like spin cycle, and there's like 4 skeins of a color, and I'm like, I wonder if they have any like better versions of this particular color. I'm like, hey, do you have like any in the back? And they like will absolutely like bring it out. like let you like spread them all out and dig through it and be all like crazy. They're great. I can't say enough good things. And they carry Gilliatt, which is like the best. So anyway,
that's major for me. But I mean, I can speak to this whole spin cycle in bags thing, considering how many pictures I got from you on Friday. Drew went shopping for me.
I love doing it.
I don't have any local yarn shops that carry spin cycle, and so spin cycle isn't something that you can just. I mean, if you're looking for something very particular, you can't just go online and be like, "I'll take 2 skeins of this and 2 skeins of this," because this skein and that skein look like completely different colorways. So there's an art form, I think, to picking the skeins. And Drew has mastered this. Drew's mastered it, and he's a great personal shopper. Thank you. Thank you for
it speaks to our friendship because it's like, this is in the category of things like helping somebody move, picking somebody up from the airport. Like, I will do this for like, I would count on like one hand the number of people I would do this for. So.
And you had such patience with me. I was so undecided, but we landed on 2 skeins of a 4 skein set that I still, we still have to find. Can I
show?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what I'm making. I got a wild hair. Oh, I love it. So this is not close call. Nope. It is. It's close call. I got it
close
right this
call.
time.
Yeah.
What do I always call it?
Stay ready.
Stay ready. I don't know why.
Which is also really beautiful. That's the one that's like got like the oatmeal and brown.
Yes. I like that one though too. That's the one you have a bunch of, right?
Yeah.
For that sweater? Yeah. So I saw a project. That's how this all happens. I can see a pattern all day long. Some designers posted this pattern. I'm like, oh yeah, great, And then you see this one project that rolls along, and you're like, I have to have it. And I never thought of it before until, this week. I have to have the Inclinations cowl from Andrea Mowry, because I think it's going to be a perfect little cowl for under my coat for a trip that I'm taking. And I said coat because I don't own coats because I live in California, but I've bought coats for a trip that I'm taking. We'll talk about travel later. But I think it's going to be the perfect little accessory, and it'll keep me warm and it won't fall off. That's something like I've been contemplating a scarf, and I don't know, I think this little cowl is the way to go. And so we were working on colors because I have 2 coats for this trip, and it will match either one of them. I have a camel color and then like a drab olive. So, also, speaking of spin cycle, the other day I needed a 3rd skein for the shawl that I'm making, and I wanted it to match. And so I don't know if everybody knows this, but if you go onto the Spin Cycle, their brick and mortar Instagram account, whichever one that's Spin Cycle Supply Company. No, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's Spin Cycle Yarns and then Spin Cycle Supply Company. And if you go on there, you can actually message them and schedule a time for a live one-on-one FaceTime to shop. And so the wonderful Meebles helped me find a skein, and it's already here, and it's getting incorporated next into my shawl. So that's really exciting. And that is a service that if you don't have Spin Cycle local and you don't have a Drew like I do, my other personal shopper is Spin Cycle Yarn Supply Company.
Meebles.
Whatever Instagram.
Good old Meebles.
that one is. I'm a little rummy this morning. So I'll go into what I'm working on, and I'll start with Spin Cycle related items because we're talking about Spin Cycle. I have my shawl. I've been working away on it, and it's kind of occupied everything. It's kind of smooshed on the needles at this point now, but get it together, Cassie. But it's looking like this now. I just got to the end of my first skein on both. I've wound my next one. I'm ready to go. And I am just loving knitting on this because it's just a super simple repeat. You can read the knitting. Good for travel. I'm going to be probably putting that on pause to take on my next trip in 3 weeks. I'm going on a little tripsy doodle. And then I got a little bit of work done on my green sweater. And it's at the point where I think I'm going to pull it off onto the little try-on tubes situation. What are they called? The knitting barber cords or whatever.
Yeah.
And really see where we're at. Because at this point, the V is like down to here. But I know that I'm putting like a hefty, border on it. So I think I'm good. But I have to take it off and like really measure. That's the joy about kind of designing something on the fly, is that, you just try it on and be like, okay, I think I'm ready for this. And it's a very customized to your own situation sweater, but just goes like this.
That is
trying to
so
spread it out on the needles, so
pretty.
So like the first raglan's here, so like we're like way down here. But I'm about, because this is such a wide neck, which was the point to get a wide border. I think I'm almost, maybe just a few rows from splitting for the sleeves and then working in the round. So that kind of got put on the back burner because I got really obsessed with the shawl. But that's about all I've got working currently.
I don't think you told us, you kind of mentioned it, but what yarns you're using for the shawl and for your sweater.
The sweater is some old Plucky Knitter stash. It's my last sweater quantity that I own in their yarn. And I'm kind of like loving the little nostalgic trip down memory lane in a way. Like, it's really beautiful yarn. It's the Scholar base, so it's a merino cashmere blend, but like rustically spun, so it looks a little bit more like a rougher wool, but it's really soft to touch. And then my shawl is Spin Cycle Ghost Ranch. I was going to say Rusted Rainbow again. I'm always wrong with Spin Cycle colors, obviously. We've learned that now. And the main color is North Bay Fiber Elemental Sport in the color Coho. And it is lovely. And can I tell you about my next plan while we're on that subject?
Yes, and I have other plans too, so you go first, and then I'll tell you about some of mine.
So, the beautiful, wonderful human Thea Colman, we all love her. Baby Cocktails.
Isn't she the best?
Colman. She's gotten me a few times lately. I've just bought 3 of her patterns. Like, I'm going to make this, and then she comes up with something else. I'm like, shit, I need to make this instead. And now I'm ready to make 1908, which is just this lovely cabled pattern. And I think it was, she said it was the cable from her Irish Coffee tunic, which was always something like when I first started knitting, that pattern, had come out not long after I had started knitting, and I always admired it. I always thought it was great. But it wasn't for me. But I appreciated the design for it. It wasn't something that I thought would look really good on me. But now that she's come out with this, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's an opportunity to use that cable. It's beautiful. It is short sleeved. I'm going to make it long sleeved. And I've seen a few of them long sleeved or 3/4 sleeve. And the pattern continues down the sleeves. I'm going to knit plain sleeves. I just think the cables being heavier on the body with a plain sleeve, I think it'll look really good.
Yeah.
So that's my plan. And since I loved the Elemental so much, and the beautiful Jill Zielinski sent me a skein of her new North Bay Fiber Elemental worsted, and this just happens to call for worsted, I was like, I had a poll on Instagram what color to use, and now I'm just like, this avocado green, I think it's Tobacco, is exactly what I need.
It's going to be so good. Oh my gosh.
So I just ordered 8 more skeins from her because she just released it Saturday? Yesterday, yeah. And so I ordered a sweater quantity plus a little, because, why not? But I can't wait to start swatching because this is like rub on your face soft. And
I was gonna say, it's like the elemental yarn from Jill is just like, it's like butter. It's so good. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Cormo is absolute finest, and then like Jill's brilliant like color sense. Oh, doesn't get better than that.
Right. I completely agree. And I never, like, I've felt other Cormo. There's some other companies that have, like, really pushed Cormo recently, and I'm like, it's not that soft. This, it's a high micron. It's approximately 21 microns, which is, like, a super fine wool. But you think of wool, and you're like, you know. I mean, some people are. I'm not scared of wool.
Yeah, well, and what I'll say is, I've tried one Cormo, and I'm just going to say what it was. It was Stonewall Cormo, which everybody was so, like, high on at some point. And I didn't like it. It was too, like, it almost was like that blue sky cotton that's, like, real pilly and, like, fluffs everywhere. It was like that, and real, like, way too heavy. Like, way, way, way too heavy. And I sense that, like, Jill's is... got a better, like a tighter spin to it.
It does in some aspects. I can try to get it a little closer so you can see like actual bits of it. But we're all falling apart here. It has enough like air to it too. Like there's some air in there. It's not super tight, and I like that. It's a good bouncy ply.
That's what I'm trying. Yeah, bouncy.
Yeah.
Not like, I don't know, it just, that Stonewall, it just shed like crazy, and I was just like, I don't like this. And it was real heavy, so.
Yeah, you can only have a sweater so heavy. I like the airier wools, especially, you know, where I live, but on the same right, those airier wools will keep you warmer, because it insulates, it holds the warmth. So if you're in a cold climate and you need something really warm, worsted spun yarns are beautiful. So, what else you got? What do you got coming up?
Okay.
So, do you have plans?
Yeah.
Tell me all about it. Have you abandoned plans to make new plans? What are we doing?
I've made some modifications, but here we go.
Okay.
2 things. Number 1. So, Mike really wants... These are both Mike knits, actually. So, Mike
so greedy.
He's not really greedy, though.
No,
the thing
he's
about
just
it is,
suddenly like 2 sweaters.
I also, like, just... I don't even feel guilty. It's, like, guilty's the wrong word, but I just, like... It's just a fact that he needs some sweaters. Like, that's just it. And I don't feel bad about it, but I also feel like it's time to make him some sweaters. So... He is in love with my Glenmore sweater, which I brought out this week and did, like, I'm on the hem, you know, I'm doing the ribbing at the bottom, which that's another one. I should have showed that too. But, like, I basically have, like, 3 sweaters that are, like, going to be done, which is really cool. Right there. Like, and this was the one that Cassie and I were doing a little bit of a knit along on earlier in the year. And, of course, Cassie finished hers, and mine, like, went off to languish for months as, like, part of my process. But, so we were between, actually, let me show. We were between 2 colors. The first one was beige, which is also really pretty. That
never hit my radar. It never hit my radar, and then you showed it to me, and I'm like, that's a really pretty neutral.
It's gorgeous,
really but classic. Yeah.
Yeah. With Mike's complexion, it's just too, he's too fair for it. So we kind of put that one out, and then we're going to do it out of this color, which is called Door. And
it's my color.
Cyrano. So basically Mike and Cassie are going to have the same sweater.
Twinning.
So
all 3 of us can, like, hang out in our sweaters together. I have to knit Sterling one now.
and our friend Winnie too, who also,
or
maybe she did one, I think.
She made it for her husband, but she has stolen it, you know. They share.
Yeah. So my other deal is also going to be for Mike, and it's a sweater called Goldstar. And so for those of you who are not familiar, it's a Maxim Sear Max the Knitter pattern, and it has some Fair Isle in the yoke, and it has kind of like a bright zigzag, and kind of the concept of the sweater is like a light tone on top, then the zigzag, and then like a darker tone, but still kind of in the same color family. Like he did like a light gray and a dark gray, and then the gold. And Mike really liked that. So I'm going to do these 3, I think. So I've got this kind of lighter color, which it's like a white with some kind of black going through it a little bit of a heather.
Is that the one that's like Decel or something cell?
Cell is like
something?
It's like the creamy white. This is called like Brulot or something. It's good. It's a good one. There's actually like a Brooklyn tweed color that's very similar to this. But anyway, so that's going to be the light color, and then this is Janae. It's kind of the acidy, golden situation, and then this color, which is a little darker than I kind of had wanted, but I think actually like seeing them together, I feel really good about how it's going to be. So
it's got good balance.
Yeah, and it's not too dark, I think. Like, they have, like, a really dark gray. I think this is a good compromise. I had another gray, but it was too close to this. So I needed to go a little darker so I can have contrast, because these two play together as well. So, yeah. So that's what I've got going on. And this is Gilliatt, because I'm obsessed.
Of course.
It's so squishable. I love it.
I'm obsessed, too.
They were stocked at Fiberspace. I was like, the vapors. I gotta like get out of here. So.
Nobody around here carries that either. And I'm gonna chalk it up to climate. I don't know.
Climate?
No, like it's warm enough here that like we don't need those.
Gotcha. Climate. I was like social climate change.
Social
in my
climate.
mind,
We can't
I'm like
have
running
this damn
through
worsted yarn here.
Yeah. So that's my deal. What about you?
Love it.
Did you? You
yeah,
shared your
I'm making
1908.
that sweater, the 1908. And then my other, I guess I have some short-term plans of finishing my, what is it? It's a Caitlin Hunter.
Oh, Gloam.
Gloam, thank you. You know my knitting better than I do. I'm just like, I've got like all these like work thoughts, and then
we know where the bodies are
the knitting
buried.
stuff.
We know where the whips are. Like, it's all good.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I've got going. I think I'm gonna take my shawl and the Gloam on my vacation, and so I will have some good down knitting time, relaxing time. My next vacation is all relax time, so I'm excited for that.
Tell us about where you're going.
I am going to Hawaii for 8 nights, something like that. We have a timeshare, and it's you buy points. Essentially, you buy points, and then there's all these properties all over the entire world that you can use them at. And we love it. It's Marriott Vacation Club, if anybody's interested. But they have like 7 properties in Hawaii, and during the pandemic, we didn't go anywhere. We were holed up in our house, and so we ended up with 3 years worth of points, because they let you bank an extra year, and then we had banked year, and then we had our current year, and we rolled some over, and we're like, we still have all these points, and if we don't use them, we're going to lose them. And so we're going to Hawaii. All it's costing us is airfare and food. So I'm like, okay, it's already paid for. Why not, right? So my amazing travel agent husband, he decided while we're there, this is a relaxing vacation. Maybe we don't need to stay at the timeshare the entire time. Let's go to the other side of the island. We're going to the Big Island, by the way. And so we rented a house for the first 3 nights that has a pool. And the pool overlooks the ocean. And I'm all like, oh, right. So I'm going to be sitting in the pool in my lounge chair. I bought an inflatable pizza slice pool floaty and drink holders, and I am so prepared, and so much sunblock, because
Yeah.
I need some luck. I burn like nobody's business, like 10 minutes in the sun, and I'm all like, I gotta go. So we're doing that. And that's going to be in 2 or 3 weeks, I think. So it'll be good.
Nice.
What do you got coming up?
I'm so excited to share that we are doing like a bucket list trip. So like Mike and I are big on like outdoorsy trips. Like we really like that. I mean, we do like a beach trip here and there, but mostly we like to go to mountains and oceans or places that have both. So we are going to go to the Olympic Peninsula. So just outside, like, you know, kind of outside of Seattle, but like kind of over here, which I'm meaning like the
it's
northwest.
The corner up here in Seattle.
The corner. And we're going to stay in Port Angeles, and which is really cute. It's a cute little like seaside town. We're staying in an Airbnb that has spectacular, it's like right on the water, which is so cool. Like you can see the ships and you can see whales and birds and all kinds of stuff. And it's right on like the Olympic Discovery Trail, which is a rail trail that kind of runs along the northern part of the Olympic Peninsula. So you can like walk and bike and stuff. So we're excited. We're still figuring out what we're gonna do, but we're gonna go to the Hoh Rainforest. We're gonna go to either Ruby Beach or Rialto Beach and do some like tide pooling. Probably climb some sort of mountain, or maybe even Mike wants to climb like Mount Olympus, but I don't know that like I'm fit for that kind of a climb. We'll see. Mike's like an adventurer. He always wants to like wherever we go, like whatever the most like crazy thing is, he like always wants to do that. And I'm like, got a bad knee. I can't really like climb 17 miles uphill. So we're doing that. And then of course in typical Drew fashion, we're flying into Seattle, and on our way to our Airbnb, I'm going to make Mike take me to the Spin Cycle brick and mortar store, which is like kind of out of the way, but
you're there. I mean,
we're there.
You live
like,
all the way across the country. You're essentially there. You're there.
When are we going to be there again? And to my credit, like I found some good stuff. Like, so we'll be in Bellingham, which is where the Spin Cycle store is, like around dinner time. So I did some like extra research, which is like to find some things that are like local and walkable from the Spin Cycle store that like Mike might be interested in. So that way when I'm involved in my crazy and when I want to spend like 90 minutes or 2 hours in the Spin Cycle store, which is probably going to happen, he can have like a place to go to like have a coffee and like read or like see some stuff. And then we're going to have dinner. But I'm excited. Like, I don't think we haven't taken like a big proper vacation in a while, like over a year. Like we usually go during summer. We didn't go anywhere. We went to Nashville this year, but it was like we worked the whole time we were there. So I'm like unplugging, like deleting email, deleting Microsoft Teams. Nobody call me. Like,
bye.
I'm out. You can figure it out. Yeah. So I'm really stoked. Really, really stoked. It's gonna be great.
I can't even tell you how wonderful that feels. I did it for Alaska. I just turned it off, and I was like, "See ya."
I'm laying the groundwork now.
I won't have
I'm
phone
like,
service.
Yeah, I let everybody know. I'm like, I'm not planning on being available. Don't plan on me being here.
Don't call.
Like, and I'm telling them like, I love you, but I need to like. And I've been working my butt off. Like I've got all my projects going, you know, and I'm trying to get everything to a point where like it's on somebody else's plate that week. So like there will be no crisis interruptions. So
yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Everybody needs that unplugged time. Everybody needs a vacation.
Oh my god, we need it so bad.
I'm just piling them all into this year. Like we went to Portland in February, and then we did our Alaska trip in June, and now we're going to Hawaii, and then in December we're going to Amsterdam and Paris just randomly because our cruise was ruined by getting COVID, and we felt bad for ourselves. And so we're like, let's look at some other Disney cruises, because we love Disney cruises. And we saw some out of Southern California that went down to Mexico, and I'm all like, we're not beach people. Yeah, we're going to Hawaii, but we're going to the Big Island because we can go to Volcano National Park and see all of the, nature. And we just plan on driving around the island and putzing around and eating at food trucks. That's our kind of vacation. You probably won't even ever find me on the beach, especially laying in a lounge chair. But I was like, Mexico that's it. Like, Southern California, Mexico. And it was like 5 days, and I was like, I don't know if I really want to spend that money on that. And then Sterling started, my travel agent husband. He's not really a travel agent, by the way.
We all have people like that in our lives. Yeah.
He's a researcher. He will research every little place you can go. And he started looking up flights and all of that. And he's like, for the same amount of money, we could do this. And I'm like, okay, why not? And then as soon as we booked the trip, now he's found like more things to do while we're there that have now, exceeded the price of the cruise, and but can't be buried with your money. So
it's gonna be so fun, and I bet you'll get to do some really cool like Christmas related things. I don't know. I love Christmas, so I would be like so into that. The
like,
different
I'm not at all
and
religious,
like that.
And that's not like my Christmas thing.
No, me
but
either,
like
me either.
I'm obsessed with Santa.
Yeah.
And like old world Santa. I love the like aesthetic of old world Santa. And we are going to Amsterdam and Brussels first, and they have all of their Christmas markets at this time of year. And the hotel we got in Brussels is actually part of our timeshare, so we're using points, so that's nice. I love points. You walk out the door of the hotel and you're in the square where the Christmas market is. And so I'm like, I can do one day in Brussels, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just one's fine. Because I'd rather spend more time in Paris, because we're going to Disneyland Paris, and we're taking a cooking class at Le Cordon Bleu. We're going to learn how to make a Christmas Yule log. We're keeping on theme.
That's so fun.
And then he was searching around Instagram one day, and you know all these influencers, and they're like, follow me hand. Oh, come with me. And they do all these like fancy places, and they're like big ass dresses, and like here I'm having coffee at the whatever, and I'm overlooking the Eiffel Tower, and it's all so fancy. So he found this chick, and he was honestly looking for the best croissants in Paris, and he came across this chick in Versailles who was there all alone. Like, the pictures were like there was nobody there, and he's like, what is this? And he started digging into it a little further, and it turns out you can actually, they just this year opened a hotel to where you can stay at Versailles. And so we booked a night at Versailles. So I'm really excited about it, and it's honestly like not that expensive for what it is, because you get like private butler service, and you get your own golf cart to drive around the grounds, and you can be chauffeured around in like a little boat through the grounds.
Oh, wow.
And you're there
Yeah.
after, you get like private tours after hours with nobody there, and I was like, that's worth the price of admission for sure. We're now concerned that our room does not have a shower but just a bathtub, and I'm all like, well, when in Paris.
You'll be okay.
I'm not worried about it. I'm really not concerned, but I had to buy a dress. I don't do dresses. But it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
So exciting.
So that's all and so that's where I'm knitting the cowl for, is for my European winter adventure. My on a whim trip to Paris.
Yeah. So exciting.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I feel like the
gonna...
last vacation you took was like when you guys went to Portland, and that feels like so long ago.
It was.
Like prior to our Portland trip this year, it was like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, did we go... I'm trying to think. We went to Portland last year, I think. Maybe? Did we?
It's at least a year and a half ago. Because you and I went in February, and it was prior to that.
Yeah, it's been a long time. We're excited. We need to. Yeah, we need to do it. We need to do it, and so, it's just hard to. It's hard to find the time. I feel like, because for us, like, October and onward is crazy. Like, I don't know why it is, but for both of our jobs, it's like September through December is like busy with conferences, and then we're traveling for like family stuff in November and December, and so it just starts to get like really, really full. So,
yeah,
but it'll be fun.
It's hard to find time off work for us. Like, there's never a really good pocket. Like, there's always something going on. Like, I can't take time off from the 1st through the 10th, and then I can't take, you know, May is a blackout month, and then October's our busiest month, and like, the work culture these days is all about, you're going to work around our schedule. Like, that's how I feel like businesses are these days. Like, my boss decided when we got married on a Thursday and we were back to work on Monday. Is what it is. Here we are. But it affords me the ability to go on 3 vacations in 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just had to wiggle them in there and do it around their schedule, but we're working it out.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to do some? You want to do some Q&A?
Sure.
Let's do a couple, because like I think we're maybe at like 40 minutes, so we'll want to.
45, 43,
45, 43.
40.
So maybe we could try to do 2 or 3 each. We'll take it as it comes, and we'll keep an eye on the time. So, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay.
You do it.
So everybody, like, we're doing like a little segment. I don't know what the name is yet. Questions
with Cassie and Drew.
Asking some questions.
Asking each other some questions.
So our homework was to come up with 3 to 5 questions to ask the other person. We'll probably both answer, and they could be like about, like, I think they're about like knitting and non-knitting stuff. Okay. So my first question is, I have my little pad. What is one thing that most people like that you cannot stand?
Brioche.
Say more.
The knitting, not the bread.
Why? Tell me why.
Why work a row twice when you can get things done a lot faster? I don't know. I like the look of it. I'm sure it's squishy, all of that. Like, it's one of those things that, like, I've never cared to do. Maybe one day I'll get bitten and you'll see me knitting a brioche project. Although Andrea Mowry's new shawl, the terrible with names. She's failing you, folks.
I don't know.
It's
go online,
brioche,
you'll find it.
And then like it's like 2-color brioche, and then 2-color brioche, and then 2-color double brioche at the end. It's beautiful. It's the shawl shape we love. It looks squishy and good. What a good time to combine some colors. She did it in like 5 color solids, 5 or 6 colors. I think it's 5. It's beautiful. I love it. It's simple, and it just from like a design standpoint, it's very appealing. I don't know. Like, that might be the one thing that ever got me.
Well,
like, hey, over here.
Yeah.
We know you don't like it, but over here, look at this.
Cool.
So yours is brioche too, or
no?
No.
I went in a different direction. So mine is Star Wars.
Oh, it wasn't a knitting related item.
It doesn't. It could be anything. I mean, another one of mine is Bob Dylan, but I know that's terrible to say, but like Star Wars, I'll focus on that. Like, I just think it's so boring. Like, I just think it's really boring, and like it's just long, like hours
so long.
and hours and hours.
So long. Don't
and
hate
I'm
us.
just like sci-fi it's not like really my jam, so I'm just not into it. Okay. And then Bob Dylan, he would be a great poet, but he's a terrible singer.
Yes.
So that's how I feel about that.
Bob lives right about here. There's only 1 or 2, because you had to get the classics, but outside of that, and that's all. Actually, somebody asked me about my records. We have records, all classic old records except for like 5 or 6. Like, we just got this one, She and Him. Do you know She and Him? It's M. Ward, and Zooey Deschanel.
I think I've heard of that before,
yes.
actually.
They just did an album that's a tribute to Brian Wilson. So it's all Beach Boys, them doing Beach Boys. So, like, every once in a while I'll buy a new album like that, but everything else is like, it's Dolly Parton and Willie Nelson and Elvis and classical records, actually, like old classical music or swing. I don't know. We like listening to strange things, I feel like. Anyway, somebody asked about that, so there, I addressed the elephant in the room. Records. They're old.
Cool.
I like the old ones. Every time I go to a yarn shop, Sterling goes to a record store. So, on your question, sorry, tangent, the color purple, not the movie or the book, the color of purple.
The actual color, yeah.
The color purple. People love purple. Purple is trash to me. Purple and goat cheese. Like, that's another thing people love. Goat cheese is garbage. Absolute garbage. Like, why do you want to eat a salty, dirty, sweat sock tasting... it tastes like goat smell. Have you been to a goat farm? Just lick the ground. Like, it's goat cheese. Like, you don't want to put that on a cracker. Trash. Immediate trash. And I happen to live in a place where, like, everybody's like, oh, we have wine and goat cheese. And I'm like, I don't get it. I mean, there's different things for everybody. That's just one of those that I don't understand. Just like everybody loves Star Wars. I'm with you. Like,
snooze fest.
I did enjoy the Mandalorian, though. I enjoyed the Mandalorian.
Didn't see it. Don't want to see it. Don't care.
It was cute. Little baby Yoda, the child. Super cute. Drug me right in.
All right, you go.
You want me to ask a question? I have a tiny little notebook.
Yeah.
Two are minor craft related.
Okay.
What's another craft that you would love to try but you just haven't, and will you? Please tell me you have that same question written down.
I have that, like, literally to the word.
Verbatim.
I'm not kidding you. Like, I want to show, but I want to, like...
We're friends for a reason.
We did not, like... It's there. Crazy.
That is
we have
neat.
We have mind melds a lot. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my answer is stained glass. For sure.
Ooh.
Stained glass. And I actually, like, would love to do it. My grandmother, on my mom's side, who passed away last year, she did stained glass for years and years and years and years, and she gifted pieces to members of her family, and she would do, like, sometimes you have, like, a kind of a circular arch that's kind of like an odd part of the window, She would do pieces for, like, spots like that. She'd do pieces for people who had, like, bars in their basement. She'd do cool, like, green, bar glass stuff. But yeah, I would totally love to do that. Like, I would love to be able to get good enough where I could do, like, a lamp. Like, I would be like a Tiffany kind of style lamp. I think that would be so cool.
That would be really cool. I'm sure you can find local classes somewhere. There's a class for everything somewhere.
Yeah, it's the time. It's just the time thing, as you know.
Yeah.
It's like
picking up another craft. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, maybe when I retire,
dangerous.
I'll look into that. So
yeah, there you go. Like Sterling's dad, he's kind of semi-retired. He just picked up working on antique clocks, and it's bringing him so much joy. And he actually got to do stained glass in one of them randomly. That's what made me think about it. So it's never too late.
Yeah. Well, what's
never
yours?
Too late. I didn't really think about my answer for when I asked this. I was just like, let me ask Drew. I honestly am super fascinated with and would like to try, but also don't know that I have the patience or time or, all of that. And I don't know if this is necessarily a craft, another craft. I'm super into the very colorful, visible mending. There's actually an Instagram page about it, where they do these amazing like patchworks on sweaters that are like colorful and beautiful, and they look like they're a work of art. And I think visible mending is very cool, like sustainable and all of that. And I don't know, maybe that's something that's at least accessible for me to try easily without, needing supplies and tools. Kind of have them all.
Yeah. Man, mind meld. I love that. Okay, so that takes away one of my questions. So I'm going to ask you one last one, and then you can ask me, and you can ask me maybe another one or whatever. What is a dream pattern that you want to make but haven't yet? And if there's anything that's holding you back, if you want to share that. But like, what's the pattern? Or do you have one?
I do, actually. There's one that I keep thinking we should bring up, and we should both like knit our dream pattern. I think we should make a knit along out of that or something. Like,
yeah.
Let's like maybe next year.
Yeah, 2023.
The one thing that has lived the longest in your queue. We're gonna do it. Damn it. I think mine would be the and it's not like for level of difficulty or anything like that. It's just like it hasn't happened. Would be the
citrine?
Nope.
Not citrine.
It's got the lace panel on the front. Leila Raven. Somebody is screaming at the computer screen right now. It's this. Amber made it in black.
Oh, it's just Deschain?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to make that. And the thing that's holding me back from it is that I haven't found the right yarn. And I don't know that I want to use the suggested yarn, considering that there's like drama relating to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's another yarn I would use, but like, I don't know that I want to support that yarn company. And there's not a lot of good linen yarns out there that are in like that beefier weight. They're all like very summer weight. So I just need to find the right yarn to roll around, and I'll do that. But maybe I'll start like taking a serious look at finding that yarn, and maybe we could do a knit along of our pattern that we haven't done yet in the new year or something. What's yours?
Could I actually say an aside? You probably know about this already, but do you ever use yarnsub.com?
No.
You should check that out. So just for everybody's knowledge, yarnsub.com, it's basically like a search engine, but you can put in a particular yarn, and then what it will do is it will run like an algorithm, and then it shows you like all the other yarns that are out there that are a good match, and it like literally says like this one's a 94% match, and it will show you like it's the same on this factor, this factor, this factor, this factor, and this factor, and then it will say something like, oh, but its yardage is a little shorter, and then like as you like, it gives you lots of results too. So that might be a good option. You can put that yarn that we shall not speak of into the search engine, and then you can find some alternatives that might fit the bill. So
I'm definitely going to do that. I need to figure it out. And I love data, so I love that whole website with the percentage match rate. Who are you, person? I love you.
Yeah, it's awesome. And not every yarn is in there, but I would say probably a good like 80 to 85% of yarns are in there. So it's worth a shot.
Find something. That's cool.
My dream pattern is one that I've wanted to make probably for 7 or 8 years now. It's called Timberline by Jared Flood. It's this incredible, like, cabled grandpa cardigan, smoking jacket, just like, it's
cozy.
Beautiful, but also, like, the cabling is like, it's like a 5 out of 5 in terms of difficulty. Like, it is a beast.
Intense.
And it's all in pieces, so you have to like not only do all the cabling, but you have to seam it together. And so one day I will make that. But
is that a Jared Flood pattern or just a Brooklyn tweed pattern?
I think Jared Flood, he's the designer. Yeah, okay. It's good.
I'm gonna have to look
it's
that
good.
one up. I feel like I've seen it.
It's been around for a while. I think it may have come out in his first men's collection.
How
it's
much
beautiful.
Time does that take?
It takes like, it's between like 2,200 and like 3,000 yards. It's a lot of yarn. It's a big, big sweater. It probably weighs like several pounds.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you want to feel
inspired,
like very,
like,
yeah. Well, you know what would be good for it?
Jill's yarn.
Jill's yarn would be good for it, but Jilliat would be good for it.
Yeah, I honestly, like, hold on, let me hold this. I feel like it might be like, I'm holding Jill's yarn. I feel like it might be kind of similar, like, weight-wise. Because this is 100 grams and it's 205, which, I mean, then Gilead. You say Gilead? Gilead?
I say Jilliat, but I took German, so I'm probably saying it really wrong.
Well, I was like, you're so much fancier than I. When you said Guinea, I was like, I've been calling it Gennet. So like,
Gennet. Well, fun. I think that was good for Q&A. We'll have to keep this up. Maybe this could be like a little bit of a regular segment.
I like it. Do you have anything else?
I think that's it, because I have other things, but it opens like a whole can of worms, and so I feel like we'll be over, like, well over an hour, and people will be like, guys, you used to say that you were going to be an hour, and then we're going to be like one of those podcasts that's like 2 hours long.
Like,
and yeah.
But we're fun. We're fun. Party people. All right, well, we can wrap it up then. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for watching and hanging in there through our prior technical difficulties or lack of great video, audio quality, etc. in the beginning. So if you're still here, thank you. Like and subscribe. That helps us out. And then if you have any questions that you'd like us to answer, put them down below in the little comment section. Give us comments. We love it. We'll answer you back. If you would like to have anything touched on or see anything that we've, worked on or anything like that, we're happy to oblige. And so if you could like and subscribe, that would be lovely. And if you hit the subscribe bell, because we're not, exactly on a 2-week schedule like I thought we have real life things going on.
Listen,
I'm traveling, you're traveling.
Yeah, we're doing well. Good. We're doing like
better than I thought we would.
I'm giving us like an A-. I mean,
yes,
we're good.
Yes. Pleasure to have in class.
Yes.
Needs more focus.
A little talkative.
Yeah. It's fine.
Gets off topic sometimes.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Okay.
It's fine. So anyway, that was episode 4 of Knit About It, and we'd like to know what you're knitting about, so let us know. And we will see you on the next one. Take care.
Bye, everybody. See ya.
Bye.